What is going on, everybody? Jake the Bills fan here, and man, was that a stressful game. This is going to be my official breakdown of the game that happened on Saturday. Yes, I understand it is Monday. I've had a couple days to process this, and I'm glad I didn't make a video right after or even during because I might have said some things and maybe gone off and maybe sounded like someone who didn't appreciate what had just happened. The Bills have won a playoff game for the first time in my life. And that is something that I will never be able to say again because now that I've witnessed it, it can't ever be the first time again. And I thought it would feel different. I thought that I would be super overjoyed, but I kind of looked at it and, that's kind of what I expected of this team is for them to win because they've shown that they are one of the best teams in football. And I spent it with my family who had also, they were around the last time that the Bills actually won in the postseason. So, yeah, it was a really great feeling watching the Bills win this, but there were problems. You can't just ignore it. But the way that we walked out of there and won, and the way that there were fans in the stands, is one of the greatest things that has happened, at least in the last year and going into this year. So, how's everybody doing? We're going to get into it. I want to break down the good and the bad before I go into any other rants and start talking about the future of what's going to go on. So, this is what the Buffalo Bills did good against the Indianapolis Colts. Frank Reich taking his squad with Philip Rivers as their quarterback, coming in to Buffalo. Buffalo hosting their first playoff game at home since 1995. It was really, really great watching everything. Two great teams, and one thing that I want to say is that as much shit as people were giving, saying that the Colts probably like we're gonna upset the Bills. The one thing is, I don't think they would have upset the Bills because of their seeding. They have one of the best defenses in the league. And hell, after what I saw, they have one of the best defensive or offensive lines in the league. It was absolutely ridiculous just watching our team not get any pressure on Philip Rivers because he had those monsters in front of him protecting him. And that was just really good. You have to go in with that mindset of knowing, well, they got here. They're an 11-win team. Everybody in the AFC playoff picture this year deserved to be in the playoffs. Nobody won their division without, well, except for the Chiefs, but they're the Chiefs. Everybody who made it in the AFC playoff picture this year is a juggernaut, and you got to be worried about all of them going into games against each other because they're all like heavyweight bouts. You got Holyfield and Tyson every single game, except maybe the Steelers. They were kind of frauds after the game I just watched last night. So let's get into it. The good. Josh Allen, no matter what anybody tries to tell you, yes, he had an almost pick, but that doesn't go on the stat sheet. And he fumbled the ball. And thankfully, we recovered it. Darrell Williams in the offseason, give him as much money as that man really truly deserves because he saved that game for us by hopping on that ball and crawling to it. So Josh Allen went 26 for 35, 324 yards, two passing touchdowns, 54 rushing yards, and one rushing touchdown. Josh Allen had a day. Josh Allen did Josh Allen things, and he went out there and against that really, really good defense, which honestly, if you looked at it, we've played good defenses this year. I think the Indianapolis Colts are the best defense in the league right now because the way that they were able to scheme and lock down our receivers, even though they were down, like their starting cornerback and their secondary is like 20th in the league, they were able to lock up our receivers. And going into our next good, we're going to talk about one receiver in particular, and that is Gabe Davis. As you guys know, I am from the Central Florida area. I did go to school at UCF, and I watched Gabe Davis light people up with Mackenzie Milton, the quarterback, throwing the ball to him and him just catching whatever the hell was thrown to him. And he is a great receiver. And when I saw us take him, I knew that he was going to be a good receiver because I had watched him all throughout college. And I knew that the way he played would translate well to the NFL because he wasn't just some dude who was burning these no name cornerbacks like they were playing the Citadel like you see a lot of receivers from Alabama do. And we won't get into that. But he went 4 for 4, caught all of his targets today, and 85 yards. And some of those catches were the most impressive catches ever. Being able to have the wherewithal to stay in bounds while catching them. They had to review them because they were so damn good. And as much as anybody might try to tell you that he was out on one of those, he wasn't. There's green there. Look at the picture close up. You can see green between the cleat and the white. But whatever, let's go into the next one. And Bass Money. That is the last good Bass Money. Just great. I think, like, as much as people gave Tyler Bass shit at the beginning of the year, me included, Tyler Bass has shut everyone up. Dude is clutch. He rarely, if ever, misses now, and that's just crazy to say that we have a kicker who's pretty much automatic. There's a bunch of different nicknames for him. I call him Bass Money because of the history we have with House Money, but there's also Bass-O-Matic because dude's just automatic through it. He's got a ton of nicknames. He is great. And also, at the very end of the game, even though it should have been ended with a fumble, they had a chance at a Hail Mary. Good on Micah Hyde to just absolutely volleyball spike that bitch into the fucking ground so that there wasn't even a chance anybody was going to get that, because he could have intercepted that. The way he basically just high pointed and got to the ball, he could have intercepted that, but he did what we have been asking the Buffalo Bills to do in every type of Hail Mary situation. He batted that shit into the ground, and that felt great. Now let's go into the bad. Let's start off with the biggest. Our run defense was awful. We have known that coming into the offseason or the postseason that our run defense was not that good coming in. We have let up some huge games on the ground, and it is absolutely ridiculous that we did not game plan that, hey, they're going to run on us. Well, guess what? They did. They did exactly what they've been doing all season. They've been running the ball. They've been throwing it to the tight ends. There's been screens, and I don't know what was going on with the play calling this game, but there were just some plays that were absolutely awful, and you should have just known. You could see it coming before the play even went off. You knew exactly what they were going to do, and if I can tell from my couch what they're going to do, then somebody on the field should know exactly what formation they're in and what they're about to do. So our run defense was still awful, letting up 163 yards, and that's 5.4 yards per carry. That is absolutely awful. And let's just look ahead for a second. We're going against the Ravens on Saturday night, and they just put up 400 rushing yards on the Bengals, which I know maybe not that impressive because it's the Bengals, but they run the fucking ball a lot. So we need to be ready for that. And then the last one is Matt Milano. And I'm only saying this because this dude is playing for a contract right now, and he looked absolutely awful. Yes, he did make some big plays and did contribute to some big plays, but he also let up, and this isn't just Matt Milano, I'm just going to say linebackers in general, but Matt Milano is our main coverage linebacker. All of their tight ends had 136 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. You can look back. Matt Milano just did not have a good game, and that is not very characteristic of him. He usually has that, but this game, he was just getting burnt, and it was obvious they were getting out-schemed, and Matt Milano was not able to keep up with guys like Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox. Like, these aren't big-name receivers, so we shouldn't have just been letting them catch the ball all over us. But again, they did what they game planned. They throw to their tight ends, they throw screens, and they run the damn ball. That's what they do, because Phillip Rivers he kind of showed it this game, but the dude kind of has a noodle arm now. He's not really like just out there killing it anymore, slinging the rock all over the place. He's really safe. They're very conservative with their play calling, and that's what they did against us. And I couldn't believe it when I saw it that their tight ends were just running all over us. So Matt Milano playing for a contract, you need to show up this next game. They really use their tight ends, so I don't want to see Mark Andrews have a big day, but that is probably asking for a lot. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe down below. Join the Football Mafia. Mafia means family. I would love for you to join mine, and make sure to subscribe and do what Josh Allen is telling you behind me so that you never miss a video, and also the upcoming show that will be aired twice a week. The Jordan Hour that will just be talking about all sports throughout the off season, and of course it'll be mainly Buffalo Bills, but we will talk about other sports just to fill in the time. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. And yeah, same Bills channel, same Bills content. I am Jake, aka Jake the Bills fan, and I will see you guys in the next video.